Okay, so today we would be looking at SQL. So I think the as data engineers is our primary conversant language that we want to talk with the data things is nothing but SQL, right? So it's going to be any data professional's language of choice. Okay, so I know that in various shape or form, perhaps you have got or you have received previously the working experience of SQL, right? So I'm not going to get into much details of on like uh, on the basics of like insert updates and deletes. Those are I'm not going to do that, right? Instead, we will kind of focus on certain aspects on how to think of SQL and where does the introduction of SQL comes around. Okay. Okay, let's start. So SQL, as you know, is nothing but
Query language. Query
okay. Now, if it's a structured query language, you have to understand one thing. That is SQL basically um, is nothing but it's a declarative language. You know what does a declarative language mean? So declarative language is nothing but it means that you specify what you want, not how to get it. So basically, you specify what you want, what you want. এইটাকে তুই sorry, this is what you specify, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
how to get. This is the difference, right? So you basically say that given this and this, I want this. But I'm not saying exactly that where it is going to be, how you want to get it, right? We are going to get into the details of it. So basically the origination of SQL was done in certain part of data evolution where um, there was a need of communication of an external user with database, right? So in database, basically what we understand it is just rows and columns. And in rows and columns, what we had is that there are different type of other databases like PostgreSQL, MySQL, SQL Server, SQLite, whatever, right? So there has to be a common language where we can ask certain question to the database and get our desired answer. So that is the whole rationale on bringing up this SQL. And this was basically formed by Oracle in mid 70s. It was pretty early on. And that was the language of database, right? And the way that it came around is that you can do select, insert, update, deletes, and etc. etc. There are data definition language, data manipulation language, data query language. We can get into those things. But apart from those things, it had certain clause, right? What does a clause mean? It means that it had certain keywords. It had keywords means what? As for example, in natural language, when you are interacting with ChatGPT or maybe say Claude, you do not have any particular syntax that you want to follow. You just say that give me the solution of this problem, right? And it gives you the solution of this problem. Or given this particular Excel sheet, tell me that sum total of column B. You upload the Excel sheet to ChatGPT and it gives you, right? But this is not the same thing that SQL does. It is very ironic that I'm trying to tell you or teach you SQL through ChatGPT. That is different because the evolution of ChatGPT is much after SQL. So what happens is that there is certain structure, right? That is followed by SQL. And that structure is nothing but it is keyword driven, right? So what are the keywords that we need to understand? Those keywords are there are plethora of keywords that we are going to do, but there are certain pattern, right? So any SQL query has a pattern, right? And let's understand this pattern. This pattern is nothing but select, and within select, you specify here columns, right? Then you have a from, you specify here what? Table name, right?
Mhm.
Tables. Then basically you have join, right? Again, you have tables, and within that tables, you have on condition. Here you have condition, right? Then you
Mhm.
have what? Then basically you have where, where also has a condition, right? Then
Mhm.
you have what? You have group by, right?
Mhm.
Group by. Group by has grouping columns. And then you have what? Having.
Order. Group by having, yeah.
Having. Having has what? It's called,
Condition.
yes, another condition. Condition. Then you have what? Order by. Order by has what? Columns.
Column name. Mhm.
Columns. It can
Order of
be
the column, ascending and descending.
ascending or descending. And then ultimately you have limit, right? Which
Mhm.
is a row count or a number. So this is the basic pattern of a SQL query. Can you tell me, or can you recognize that is this the pattern that you are familiar with, or do you have any other pattern that you have seen in your life except this? There is every SQL that is written on this earth will follow this pattern. You need to understand this, right? You need to
Mhm.
understand that there is a select clause, there is a from clause, there is a join clause, there is a where clause. So all these clauses, when I say clause, these are all clauses, right? These
Mhm.
are all clauses. Why these are clauses? Because they will be having stationary position. As in like you cannot write from before select. First you have to write select, then you have to write from. You cannot write where before from, right? That is the reason why they are called syntactical clauses. Why syntactical clause? Because they follow a rule, right? The rule comes one after the other, correct? It's a declarative syntax. You declare it in such way, and you get, and you ask the question to database, and you get the answer. Are you guys clear up till this?
Yep.
Okay. Now, when the SQL query executes, it does not execute in the way that you write or you declare. It executes in a different way, and that is called logical execution order. So the way that you are writing the SQL query is not the same as the database is going to execute this SQL query within its memory or within its processing system. So what is the first clause that executes in a SQL query? Can you tell me?
Yeah. From clause.
From clause. So this is number one. Then what is the second clause?
Join.
Join. Very good.
Join.
Then what is the third clause?
Where condition.
Where
Where.
condition.
Third clause. Very good. Fourth.
Um,
Having.
Fourth is select.
No. Group by. See, you need to understand that you are a database. First of all, in order to think
Oh, okay,
SQL,
have should be
in order
first.
to
Yeah.
think of a SQL, listen to me. This is very, very critical. In order to think of a SQL query, how to answer the SQL query, you first of all have to understand that the question is not asked to a database. You are the database. If you are the database,
Oh, okay.
in the first time what you are getting, in the from clause, you are getting the table. You have nothing.
Mm,
In the second time,
Mm,
you are getting the join table where from you are actually
mm,
joining. So now you do not have anything else but all the rows of those two tables. Your knowledge
mm,
is limited till that. Then you are actually filtering out some rows, which is where, right?
mhm.
After the where clause comes the aggregation, which you do the sum, average, mean, max, etc., which is done by the group by. Unless you have the grouping by, you cannot do the aggregation on the select,
mm.
right?
Yep,
So
yep.
after the where clause is done, you should be first doing group by, right? Once the group by is finished, you should be doing having, right? Once the having is done, then comes what?
Select.
Yes, this is very important. Once the having is done, see, up till this point, 1 till 5,
Mm,
you
mm,
were not concerned about the any column name.
mm,
After
No, I just want to know in the case of four, right? Four group by.
Mhm.
Before group by, select should come, is it?
No,
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 because I'm thinking in that way
no, it
that
should that is where your thinking is going wrong, Partho. Because I'm telling you, you should think it in terms of your brain is empty right now. Step one, you got from. You have 10 columns from table one. You have another 10 column from table two in step two. Join. Okay.
Mhm.
Then you have a where condition. Where condition does what?
The filtering part,
Filtering of what?
filtering of the records,
Records, which means filtering of what? Rows.
rows. Yes, yes.
As of right now, your brain has how many columns? 20. 10 from table A, 10 from table B. You are with me?
Mhm.
And
Yes,
you
yes.
are actually removing the rows, but you have 20 columns.
Mm,
Your knowledge is limited to that 20 columns.
mm.
Correct? Now, when the group by comes, right? The group by would be done based on all the columns that are available in your memory.
But in case I'm not using any aggregate function, then there will be no group by, right?
Then that is optional, right? That is optional. You do not have to, you do not have to use the group by at all. Then,
Correct. Without select clause,
hmm,
how can I know whether we are grouping or whether we are doing some aggregate on some columns?
no, no, no. So first of all, the aggregate function is always declared on the select clause,
Mm,
right?
mm,
And the aggregate function, that is the sum, mean, max, or
mm.
the whatever that you do, that is not declared in the group by. That is declared in the select, right?
Ah,
But what I'm trying to explain here is the logical order of operation. In the logical order of operation, it comes all the clauses that we have encountered till now. Now, in a given use case, if you are not using group by, you will obviously go to select. That means that your aggregation was not needed. You just select and where. That is fine, right? But in
mm,
a in a in a complicated query, this is group. What I'm trying to say is group by is not mandatory, correct?
mm,
But
mm,
if you have to do group by in some cases, or if you have to do aggregation, if you have to find a sum of everything, correct? Then group by is mandatory before select.
mm. Oh,
Because
group by immediately
bec-
before select.
because unless you group, you are not able to apply the aggregate function.
right.
Unless I group. Okay, okay. That is the main logic. Okay. Unless I group.
If you want to get to the sum of a particular column, right, you will be only able to declare that sum onto a column, right, which is where the rest of the columns are considered together, which is
Mm.
grouped. Unless you group the columns, unless it collapses all the rows to a singular row, correct, the sum will give you a singular row, correct,
Mm. Yes.
right? Unless you tell the SQL compiler that you group these columns together, you have nothing to declare it in the select. How will you go to select? I am telling you that you have to do a sum of a particular column, right? You go and do a sum of a particular thing. How are you going to do the sum without without grouping. You cannot do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because what you are trying to do is that you are trying to collapse.
Trying to reduce the
You
records.
reduce that. This is very important to understand.
Understood, understood. Perfect.
Correct? You have 20 columns. Now you are grouping. And once the grouping is done, then you are doing what? Then you are filtering. Filtering after grouping is called having.
Mm.
Filtering before grouping is called where.
Where?
So this condition, this is very, very important.
Yeah, the way you mention, I now able to clear, able to understand.
Sorry.
Filter before grouping. Mhm.
We will go into details of this. What is filter after grouping? What is filter before grouping? But this is clear, right? This is very important.
Mhm.
Okay. Once that we have, okay, let's make some progress here for the interest of time. All right.
I think
Once we have,
let's sorry, but I think after that, would you like to number out the like select the order the thing you were completing?
yeah,
Select
yeah,
will be
yeah,
coming next.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So,
Okay,
so
sorry.
having is what? Number five, correct?
Hmm. Hmm.
After the having is done, basically now you have 20 columns in your SQL compiler memory, which is your memory, right?
Hmm.
Now you go and tell SQL compiler, okay, fine. You know what? I'm interested among these 20 column, only 8 or 9 columns. That is what is the job of the select. So sixth is this, right? Then
Mhm.
seven is among that 8 or 9 column that you select, what would be the sorting order? It is
Hmm.
determined by order by. And then comes limit. Am I clear? This is very important to understand before you go and do any kind of SQL.
Mhm.
This is very good.
Yeah, understood.
Partho, please, if you have any question regarding this group by and why it is executed before and after, it is it is very important to clear. Let me know.
So basically, I have a question on limit.
Yeah,
Limit mean restricting the records, restricting the row.
from
Let's
the
say
display.
from the display. Yeah, okay. Mhm.
So when you are coming to select, select will give all the number of rows. Then by order that you are telling, see, it is a very visual process, right? You can see, you will only be a data professional if you can see the data in your memory. You have to be that much clear, right?
Mhm.
You have to visualize this. Try to close your eyes and visualize this thing. There are two boxes, there are two tables which are coming together, forming a large table with 20 columns. It is getting filtered on step 3, and that is called where. After the filtration is happening, that is coming to group by. I am grouping all the columns together. Then after the group by, I am coming to having, and after the having, I am going to select, right? After
Mhm.
the select, I am not filtering any row. I have only filtered the row in where condition, correct? On step 3, right? But I might
Mhm.
not be interested in all the rows that I see. That is what is the usefulness of limit. I might be interested to only see 5 or 10 rows.
Means
My
top five,
result
top
set,
10, like
my
like
result
that.
set can be 1 million, but I should not be. Yes, Vinodhan.
A quick question. Let's say if we don't want to, this is basically how we want to visualize the data at the end of the query, right? Let's say if we don't want to order or limit it. Let's say we don't want to order it. We can directly go to step number 8 after sixth, right? We can skip the step number 7 also if we don't need to use the order by.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is
definitely you can do it. So basically,
Hmm. Hmm.
in order to complete a SQL query,
Hmm.
this all these things that you are Okay, let me ask you a very intelligent question. Let me see. What is the shortest SQL query possible in this world?
Select all
What is
from
it
that.
called? Select all?
Select all, let's say select all columns from that table,
Okay,
like
I
two
can
lines.
let me clarify and make the question very easy. Among these 8 clauses that you see in the screen,
Mhm.
can you combine what is the minimum number of clause that you need to complete a SQL query?
1 and 6.
1 and 6. Partho?
Six, 1 and 6, yes.
1 and 6. It is both of you are wrong. It
Actually,
is
actually, actually, 6 is required.
it is only select
Only select is only
because
select.
this is a valid SQL query.
Select is dead.
But
Okay.
where would you oh, okay, but
Select one. Select one is a valid SQL query, correct?
right,
Yes.
but
You don't need a from
okay.
clause. So from clause is also optional. Understand this. Forget about where
Okay,
clause, forget about join clause, forget about everything.
okay, okay.
In order for you to interact with the SQL compiler, you only need the select clause. That is the bare minimum that you need. This is the mandatory clause is this. This is your
Okay,
mandatory clause. Everything else is optional.
okay.
Now, if you do not want to use certain clauses, you will not use. But what I have just shown you in the screen is the general architecture or the format or the anatomy of a SQL query. In the world, you cannot write any SQL query which is outside of this screen.
Makes sense.
Now, whether you want to use certain things or whether you do not want to use certain things, that is up to your own discretion.
Mhm.
Another question, if I can ask.
Yeah, yeah.
So, in this place, I mean, I've seen like certain, maybe a silly question, sorry again. So, let's say we can use rank instead of order
No, no,
by
no.
that
That will
same.
come. We'll come to that.
Okay,
Um,
okay, okay,
uh,
okay.
Rank is
The
very different.
other functions we can probably,
No, no,
this
no.
is the
Rank.
high level structure, but
No,
we can probably
this is. Yeah, I can tell you.
mhm.
So, so when you are building a house, right?
Mm,
You
mm.
basically build what? You basically build a foundation, and then
Foundation, yep.
you
Mm,
build you build a
mm,
wall. You build a structure on top.
mm, mm.
This is this is a foundation of SQL.
Okay, okay, makes
So on
sense.
top of it, you can create certain things. You can write certain things. You can write some ways, rank. You can do dense rank. You can do entile. You can do with a row number, whatever you want. But this is very basic because all those things that you would be looking at, those are certain things, certain keywords or groups of functions that will be used in one clause. What I was teaching you or telling you is the query pattern. Rank is a keyword in SQL. Rank is not a clause. Try to understand the difference. Rank is a keyword which does a job. Sysdate is a keyword which does a job, but not sysdate, not rank, not get date, whatever you say, not like timestamp, not like mean, max, average, sum. These are all keywords. These are not SQL clauses.
Okay, okay.
What I what I am explaining is these 8 clauses are the foundation of SQL query. You can have multiple keywords on top of it. That is different.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Partho, any question?
No, it looks perfectly okay.
Okay. So there are some best practices. I will very quickly, I mean, so this is very important actually to know. But Partho might be for you. It is not that interview critical, but we will still go and do it,
Mhm.
right? Some best practices that you should always follow. Use capital words.
Only for clause or for everything?
For clauses, which means these ones. The select from, join, where, group by, having, order by limit. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Second thing is you should use indentation, which means that
Mm.
is it clear?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be very clear about it. I can trust you. I can tell you for one thing. In 15 years, I understood SQL knowledge is not that important. Indentation is. Because I have spent multiple hours on debugging queries which are not formatted correctly. Third is, and this is my uh, personal recommendation, right? This is my, I mean, you can tell one thing that if ever Oyon gives you a personal recommendation that you are not going to find anywhere in any book, it is just based on experience, then this is this. So when you have
Mm.
use this, not this. You know the reason why?
Mm.
Because if you are debugging a very long query, you can just comment out this line.
Mm-hmm.
This portion gets comment out and none of the SQL query is getting impacted. But in this case, if you have another clause after this, if you comment it out only this, it will get impacted. So it is very essential. I mean, in this example, this is not that much clear. But if you look at large queries when you are debugging, your commenting is very, very essential in order to comment out and run. So when you are practicing, I think it is better to use comma before. But generally, I think these are the things. And then I think there are certain common things. Use descriptive naming convention, table alias, like when you are joining with tables, use the table alias, etc., etc. And then avoid select star for production code. I think these are very common. We can go into that, right? So I think this is the very start of it. I just wanted to start off with this. Partho, now let's get to your interview specific question or thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
first thing that I wanted to highlight is one, you should understand the difference between where and having. This is very important. Okay? Difference between where and having is what? So if as we have seen in the other particular thing, that when the table is getting formed, where is used for filtering rows before grouping. So where is used before grouping, and having is used after grouping. Okay. Example, if I can tell you, so for example, say, okay, I have a table which I do not know. I'm not ready with an example today, but maybe let me try to think. I have a table which has a transaction detail, right? The transaction detail is of a fruit vendor who sells apple, oranges, and say banana, right? Apple, orange, and say banana. Okay. So you have here ID of the transaction. You have say item, right? Then you have quantity, correct? And then you have price, correct? So here ID is 1, 2, 3, apple is 1, orange is 2, banana is 1, and then you have another apple, which is say 2. Say apple is priced at 10, orange is priced at say 5, and banana is priced at maybe 3, and then apple is also priced at here 10. Here price is per unit. Okay. Now, if I want you to ask, right? Understand this problem. If I want you to tell me that give me the from this table, give me the mm, uh, give me the distinct number of items that is sold, correct? Give me the distinct number of items that is sold. Very easy. What you will do, you are just going to use this column, and you are going to do a distinct on this particular column, and you will get it, correct? Then I can tell you, tell me the number of apples that is sold. If I give you this question, or what is the sum total of apple that is sold, what you are going to do? You are going to say select star or select. Let's write that query, right? You are going to say what? Select from table, correct? And then you are going to come here and say where item equal to apple, right? And then you are perhaps interested in the sum of quantity that is sold, right? So basically you are going to get this particular row and this particular row, correct? And you will get the answer as 3. Is this right? You get it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now the thing is here, the mm, well, we have to do item here. Let's say item, and then you have to group it by item. This is very simple, right? You cannot use a aggregate function. You cannot use an aggregate function without grouping the non-aggregated columns. The Abhinandan, if you are listening to this, you should,
Yeah.
yeah. So you shouldn't. I think Partho, you know this well, right? For
Mhm.
any one of the columns that are present here, you should be using the group by for that particular column which is not within the aggregate function. If the aggregate function has a column called quantity, you do not have to put it on the group by. Okay.
The other no, means other non-aggregate column needs to be put
Column
in.
needs to be grouped by. That is the concept of grouping, correct? Because you are grouping by the column, correct? Because you are because you are grouping by that particular element, right? Then on that group you are performing that sum. You cannot perform the sum all total, right? If you just do sum total of quantity, what will come? 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. Basically, you will get 6, correct? But you are interested in what? You are not interested in the sum total of quantity. You are interested in a particular item, correct?
Mhm.
You have to group that by and you have to sum this.
Mm.
You get this, correct?
Mm.
Okay.
In case we are not putting anything on select clause like item, so no need to group by.
No, you don't have to group it by, but the thing is that you also have to understand that if in case you are not putting anything on the select clause as item, then
Mm.
every row is collapsed to one,
Mm.
correct? It is
Mm.
not getting segregated. Like apple, orange, banana will not be three rows. It
Mm.
everything would be collapsed to one, right?
Mm.
We will only be able to sum the quantity, sum the price, which is like one row. Sum of all would come. But if you want the division by category of apple, division by category of orange, division by category of banana, then you have to group by the item. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
break that data.
yeah.
That is
That's
the
true.
reason. That is
But
the
here,
reason. Yeah,
actually, where item equal to apple, so it's returning one result only.
correct. It will return one result only, right?
Mm.
It will return one result only. You are sanguine on this, correct?
No, where yeah. If I write select some quantity from tab where item equal to apple, then it will give just one result, 3.
Yes. Where item you do not need to group it by.
Mhm.
You in that case you do not need to group it by.
Correct,
Yes,
correct.
you're sanguine on this, correct?
Mhm.
Yes, very good. The thing is that when this query executes, correct, what it will do? It will take the from part, the tab will be loaded into memory. It will execute the where part, and that is the reason why I wrote the where. I could have written the way that you have told Partho, but it will take the where part and it is going to filter, correct? It is
Mm.
going to filter the rows which are having apple, which is meaning this particular row will come row number 1 and row number 4.
Mm.
Only this
Mm.
particular row will be considered. These
Mm.
two, correct? On
Yes.
and these two row will not be considered at all.
Mm.
So when we are in this stage where condition is executed, we are basically removing the rows of 4 rows to 2 rows. We are
Mm.
collapsing the 4 rows to 2 rows, correct?
Yes.
Then we are performing the sum upon performing the group by. So group by is first performed, then we are performing the sum.
In case we are not writing group by, we are just select some quantity. Then also it will only give us 2, right? 2 plus 1, 3.
Yes, it will give you 2 plus 1, 3. You
Mm.
do not need to write.
Mm.
110% right.
Mm.
You don't have to, you don't have to write that.
Mm.
Correct?
Mm.
You don't have
Yes.
to do it. You are totally right. Correct?
Mm. Mm.
You understand this this part, right?
Mm.
Okay. Now let's flip the question. The question that we want to answer is that give me the uh, name of that particular item which was uh, say whose price or whose sum total of the price was greater than 15, right? Give me, so item whose price was greater than 15, right? If you have to answer this question, then what you have to do?
Then I tried group by definitely.
Correct, correct. Let me go there. So let's see. Select from,
Maybe same example. Yes, same. Mm.
tell me, select from, then
Select from then where.
where?
Sorry, no where.
Why
Here it is
didn't you,
group
wait,
by.
wait, wait, wait here, Partho. Why is nowhere coming?
Because we are not restricting anything.
Correct. This is where I want you to pause and understand. In the before example, this was before grouping, filtering, and this is where you are doing after grouping, filtering, where you are not restricting. In the before example, this where clause was what? We do not have to do group by. Correct? Before the group by, we could have just done the filter, right?
Yes.
Correct? But in this example, when the question is flipped, then what will happen? We will do group by here
Mm,
without the where. Correct?
mm,
Then
yes.
then comes what?
Having.
Correct.
Having sum of price greater
Is
than
greater
50.
than 15.
Mm.
So this is where the difference is. If you have a question which says that basically you have to go to the rows, collapse the rows in such a way, you collapse it and then you perform the filter. That is where having is used, which is after the grouping.
Mm.
If you do not need to collapse the rows, you can directly do the filtration. You use where.
And also in some case where uh, I have seen like before grouping, after grouping, both required. Okay.
Yeah. That is also fine. I mean, you are saying a combination of where and having
Group by
clause.
having. Yeah.
Where and having clause. Yes. That is definite. So if I tell you that, give me the sum of, oh, sorry, give me the item which is sold more than one time and whose sum total is more than say 10 price, then basically what you will do, you will do, so sold more than one time is what? Count of star greater than one.
Count of star. Count of
Having,
quantity greater than one. Yeah.
yes, sold more than one, which means that count of star, which means
So
that
count of
row
star.
is present more than one time, which is apple. This clause will go where? It will go to the having clause. And in the query, if I say whose price is more than 5, it will, you will say that where price is greater than 5. This is a where clause condition. So in
Mm.
some clause, it depends on the question, but in general, I'm not saying that it is like a either or thing. I'm saying that in general, it is a thing where you need to kind of understand which particular keyword to use at what point of time. It can be used at both. It is totally fine with that, right? I'm not saying that if you use where, you cannot use having.
Mm.
I'm not saying that.
Got it. Got it. Perfect.
Okay, is there any, so if you get a question on between where and having, you will be confident, right?
Yes. Now I'm okay.
Okay. Obinandan, you were quiet. Did you understand what I just said?
I understood, but I would need to revisit the first part one again, once
What
again, but
what
probably
exactly?
over the time constraint, that's why I was okay. So you mentioned something about like, and this actually the second piece, like when we're restricting it, right? Where we are just using selecting it from and not using the where clause there. I I probably need to revisit that piece, why we are not using the where clause on the second one. But in the first one, we are definitely using it because we would like to find the, it's the distinct number of items sold or the total number of apple. That's why we would like to use the where clause where we are finding the items that's there. But for the second piece, we are not using the where clause where we are trying to find the items whose price is greater than 15.
Sorry, I think I missed your question, Abhinandan. Can you
So
ask?
I want to understand why we are not using the where clause in the second one, where we are trying to find the items whose price is greater than 15
Okay.
versus
Okay.
not on the first one. So maybe I can revisit it later on
No, no, no,
something.
no, 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 no. We will answer it here itself.
Okay,
This is
okay.
this is very important to understand. Partho, can you explain?
Mm. So, so our question was, I mean, whose price, whose
Mm,
price, whose price is greater than 15,
right.
right?
Mm.
So this whose price means whose total price is greater than
Okay,
15.
okay. So
That's
we
the
don't
question.
need the specific items there. That's why we are
Mm.
not
So
going to
total
the
price
where.
means item wise price. The question
Okay.
was whose uh, item wise total price is greater than 15.
Hmm. Can
So
be any item, not specifically any particular item they're asking. It can be any item, right?
can be any item, yes. But
Okay.
it should be
Oh.
group by first. So we have done group by item.
Hmm.
So group by item means we will get three yeah, distinct row. One for apple, one for banana, one for orange, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So now table has four rows,
Hmm.
but now after grouping by, we'll get distinct
3 rows.
item only, right? So we'll get three rows.
Hmm.
Now we are the next clause is whose total price is greater than 15. So
Hmm.
after grouping by, we have to incorporate the condition, which is
Price
written
greater
like
than
having
15.
sum of price greater than 15.
That is the field. Oh, okay. 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 Makes sense.
So the question is asked in such a way that you have to get to the total purchase price, right? And
Hmm.
then you have to see whether that is greater than 15 or not. In order
Hmm.
to get to the total purchase price, Abhinandan,
Hmm. Hmm.
you have to do a activity. That activity is sum of this and sum of this. Correct?
Hmm. Hmm.
In order to do that sum of this and sum of this, you have to do the group by. So
Right.
if you are not doing the group by, you wouldn't be able to do the total price calculation. So you have to
Hmm.
understand the question asks whose item whose total price is greater than 15. So item whose total price is greater than 15 will only come not through the where condition, because once you go to the where condition, it where condition operates on all the rows, which is four rows, all the four rows.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
Hmm.
if you group this by, it will
Hmm.
collapse to three rows. You are grouping by item, as Partho said. Then after group by, what it will look like? It will look like something like this: apple,
3 rows.
apple,
Oranges and
orange, and
banana.
banana.
Hmm.
Right? So in
Hmm.
the apple, you will get quantity that would be summed, or price that would be summed,
Three.
which is 20.
Right. Right.
Right?
20
In
and
the
3.
orange,
Okay.
you will get this as summed as 5.
5.
In banana, you will get this as 3.
Hmm.
Correct?
Hmm. Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
then this is the result of group by.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
This is the result of group by. Then you do the filter and you remove this row, and this is your answer. In order
Oh,
to do that filter, this is where having is used, not where.
okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. But another, if you go back to this query, is having some equal to okay, yeah.
No,
Okay,
what is
having
your question?
some
But
price. No, no, the last line I'm trying to read. Having some
sum
price
of price
greater than
greater than
50. Sum
15.
of price. Okay, makes sense. That's why the answer will be 20 because it will ultimately
Yeah.
aggregate those and find that. Okay, makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you basically take the item.
Hmm.
I have not written there, but you basically this sum of price.
Hmm.
This is the full query.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you. That makes sense.
This sum of price, yeah, also we have to write in select clause as well.
Yes, of course. I have not written the select clause, but I mean, that is pretty implicit that we have to write it, right? But okay, did you understand the difference between where and having? This is where it started from. This is very, very critical for your interview preparation.
This sum of price, we cannot use alias or something, so that just alias name will be used in having or some.
No,
Mm.
alias name is used typically. So okay. I'm sorry, but Partho, if I think you have to forget Oracle.
Okay.
Because in Oracle, the syntax is a little bit different than all the other databases that we have, right? So the
Mhm.
way that we do in Oracle, it is not the right syntax. So it is the right syntax. I'm not saying it is not the wrong syntax, but it is not the 100% descriptive syntax, right?
Mhm.
So what we have to see here is basically when we are doing the alias, right? Alias is done only for the tables. Alias is not done for columns.
Not done for columns. Okay.
No, alias you can do alias for the tables, right? If you say item and then say IT here, then this is called an alias.
Mhm.
Then you basically say IT dot price uh, and whatever IT dot item and whatever. But why is alias needed? Alias is needed because you have multiple table. In this case, if you do not have a join, there is no confusion because there is
Mhm.
only one single table called tab.
Mhm. Yes. Okay.
Right? Sorry,
Mhm.
item is not this. So basically, this is the alias, right?
Mhm.
From then this is IT dot. If you have two or more tables that are getting joined, then only you will use alias. Then, in order to distinguish the same column name, if you have
Mhm.
item on both the tables, say tab 1 and tab 2, you have two tables. Both has items. One is selling apple oranges, another is perhaps selling shoes and jeans and whatever t-shirts. Tab 1 and tab 2 are two tables, correct? Now, if you have to compare the columns are still same, item and price, correct? But you want to only understand the price of particularly fruits, right? In that case, you will be only interested on tab 1. So you will do IT as tab 1 and then IT dot etc etc. And then maybe you might not need a join also. But if you are not needing a join, there is no use of thinking of alias. Alias is only needed if you have a join.
Already.
Okay, clear,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Clear. Clear.
Okay. Shall we proceed?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Any questions? Sorry.
No.
Okay. I am going to just for interview purpose. Another thing is very important part too.
Mhm.
Do you know what a union is?
Mhm.
Bobinandan?
Union is the join. I mean, I I remember it a little bit. I'm not 100% sure, but union is basically join,
No.
I think.
Union is nothing but a combination clause.
Okay.
Join is different. Union combines the result of two union combines the result sets from multiple select query, right? So you have two different select query. It will just if the columns are equal, it is just going to you know put the result one top of the other like this. That's it. That is this is say R1, this is R2. Result 1, result 2. Union does this, correct? What does
Oh,
union?
okay.
Yeah. what does union and union all does, right? So union, you have to remember union, Partho, this is again very important. Keep a note of it. Union removes, and by the way, union is only possible. Union and union are only possible if the column names are same for R1 and R2. But
Because
that
all
is
are set operations, so
all are
let's
set
take.
operations. The column name has to be exactly same. Okay?
Hmm.
Union removes all duplicate rows. And union all, this keeps. Keeps all rows. Okay? You get it, right, Partho?
Yes, perfectly okay.
Yeah, you remember this. And I'm not going into much detail, because another detail is that union performs a distinct operation. Okay, let me tell it by you, for your interview purposes. So union, when you are applying union, sorry, it performs a distinct operation, which means that it is going to do a distinct on that particular column, right? Because union is removing all the duplicate rows. Distinct removes all the duplicate rows, correct?
Mhm.
So in case you have a larger table, union is slower.
Mm,
Union is performance deficient.
mm,
So for large tables, union is slower. Understood?
mm.
Remember this in case you are asked a optimization question.
But there is no such scenario like we can use in all.
If you use union all, you will get duplicate rows.
Mm,
The reason it is slower is because it is performing a distinct operation,
mm.
which means that it is trying to remove the duplicate.
So by default is it will do distinct.
Yes, union does distinct.
Mm,
Union, it will always do distinct and it will
mm,
try to remove the duplicate.
mm,
Clear, right?
Yep.
mm.
Okay. Uh, okay. Okay.
You might
What?
need to charge your laptop.
Oh, 32. Okay. So I do not have a charger here. Okay, I'll try to find one. Anyways, that is fine. Let's just switch gears here. I think I don't have much, but I have two important topics for you to cover. Then I'll give you some questions to practice. Then probably Parthu, if you needed, I
I need one topic to cover, just to brush up and clear understanding, say, that is join.
yes. Let's go to join. Okay. Okay. What is the understanding of joins do you have? How many types of joins are there?
Yeah, four
Four.
types:
Okay, what are the four types?
inner, left outer, right outer, and full outer.
I okay. Forget about the outer part, right? There is, if there is an inner join, there is a left join, there is a right join, there is a full join, right? There is
Mhm.
no thing. So there is another type of join. Can you tell me what?
Mm. That cross join.
Okay, another type of join exists.
Full join. Well,
Who said this?
I think I think I read self join.
Yes, you're right.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see this. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes. So, yes,
Self-join.
ultimately, these are the types of join that is possible, right? So,
Is there anything called ultra join?
sorry,
Ultra join?
I have not heard about it.
Yeah, leave it.
Okay, maybe there is. I'm not sure. I mean, there are a lot of things that I'm not sure about. So I can't say more about it. Okay, so inner it is very simple, right? I think we all know this diagram. Given a Venn diagram like this, inner join only is this part, which is this is table A, this is table B, this is nothing but what?
Inner
Common
join.
What is the set notation of this?
intersection.
A intersection B, correct? Similarly for left join, what will be there, Partho?
The left side of A. So
Similarly for right join, what will be there?
the right side,
For full join,
all full.
for cross join, this is also kind of the full. You cannot express it in a Venn diagram because it is uh, I'll come to this. If you are not very, I mean, if you do not need, we do not have to discuss. But if you want to, still go into the cross join discussion, we can come to this. But anyways, self join is what?
Joining the same table, creating the copy of a table, not really copy, but
That's it. You have only one table. It is getting joined with itself, right?
right.
So let's just go with one another. So you have inner join, which is the common data between table A and table B.
Mm.
You have left join, which considers all the data of the left table and only the matching record from the table right table. All the data of the left table and only the matching record of the right table. Do you understand the meaning of this? This is the most important join that you can use. I will repeat myself. You have all the data of the left table and only the matching row of the
The right
right
table.
table.
Is
So
that
let's consider, wait. Give me 1 minute. I have a Slack message to type. Give me 1 minute. Okay, sorry. I'm back. Okay,
No worry.
where are we?
Um,
Left.
Yeah, we are
you
into
left
left.
join.
Mhm.
Okay. So as I was saying that this is very important, right? And from here, uh, we will go to one example, correct? Which is very important for your interview preparation. Very, very important. Correct?
Mhm.
So let me first complete the definition. The definition is what? Definition is that the rows that are present on the left table and the common rows that are present on the common rows between the left table and the right table are the left join. Similarly, the rows that are present on the right table and the common rows between the left and the right are what? Right join.
Right join.
Okay.
Mhm.
Full join is what? All rows from both the tables. You
Yep.
can argue that then why can we use select star? Because select star is only used in one table. If you are using multiple tables, you should use full join. Simple. So full join is what actually? Full join is A union B. And this is what actually? You guys are all confident in set notations, right?
Mhm.
Abhinandan, you remember set theory?
A little bit.
Okay.
I recognize it. I mean, I remember the science.
These are all
Uh,
these are all Venn diagram and set the basics of.
yeah.
Okay. So cross join is what? Cross join is nothing but the cardinal product. Cardinal product between the two, which means that all permutations possible between two tables, right?
Sorry, left is you mentioned B minus A. Left is A minus B, right?
You are considering row that are present in B that are not present in A. You are right.
A minus B and B minus A will be the opposite, right?
Yes, you are right. Yes. B. Yes, you're right. You're right. Okay. So cross join is what? Cross join is cardinal product between the two. Cardinal product is what? Cardinal product is basically the uh, one particular row, joined with all the other rows of another table. So row
Mhm.
one gets joined with row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and n of the second table. Row 2 again gets joined with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Row 3 again gets joined with 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this is the cross join. So all permutations possible between the two, right? And then you have the self join, right? So in this example, we are going to discuss left join only. This is very important to discuss left join. And I'm going to solve an actual interview question. So Partho, be very, very, take note of this. Okay.
Mm.
So this is the interview question is
We
actually,
need it. Those questions.
yeah, this came to me in one of the interview. So the question is this: given two tables of order and customer, find uh find the customer who did not place an order. What is the table definition? So order is something like this. Order, you have say order ID,
Mhm.
and then you have say customer ID. and then you have order date, right? And then you have amount. Similarly, you have another table called customer, correct? Customer has what columns? Customer has customer ID.
ID, customer name,
Then you have, yes, customer name. And you have, say, email or phone number.
some details, yeah, email, phone number,
Email, phone
something.
number, whatever. So the question asks what? Question asks, say, you have four customers in here. Say, for example, say 1, 2, 3, 4,
Mhm.
right? And say customer name is say John, and say the amount is $300. Whatever.
Email, right?
Sorry. Sorry. I was thinking of order.
The order, yeah.
I'm not going to fill up the email.
Something like, yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
the thing is. Let's not waste time
Right.
on that. Say you
Mm-hmm.
have Jane. Say you have three is Robert. Uh, and then fourth is, I don't know, maybe Sarah. Okay. And then in order, you basically have, say, like this 101. The customer ID is 1. And then you have, say, 2025, 115. And say here you have a purchase price of 300 amount.
Mm-hmm.
Say 102, there is a customer ID who is 2. Then you have say 2025 116 of 200 amount, right? And then you have 103, you have 1, you have 2025.
Shouldn't the customer ID be unique or not necessary?
This
Shouldn't
is
the customer ID should match from the customer table, or is
this is
this not
matching, right?
Rick?
This is
No,
matching.
it's order ID. Oh, customer ID is basically talking about the customer from the customer table, and order ID can be different. Like one
Yeah,
customer can have two. Okay,
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
So 17, and then I have 99 or whatever.
Mm.
So in this example, what you are asked to provide is these two rows. Question is what? Given two tables, order and customer, find the customer who's find the customer who did not place an order. Who did not place an order is what?
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Is the question clear?
Mm.
Okay. Now let's try to solve this. So what we are going to do is basically you have these two columns, order and these two tables, order and customer, right? So
Mm.
the commonality between order and customer is what? The customer ID.
Mm.
So
Mm.
in order to find the number of record or the amount of rows or the whatever the number of rows that is present in order but not in customer is your answer. Try to
Sorry,
understand again. Try to
repeat
understand.
last sentence.
Yes. You have to find the customer who haven't placed any orders. You have to find the customer who did not place a order, which means that the customer will not be present in the order table.
Correct, yes.
That means you have to find the customer which is present in the ID, that is the ID between those these two table, only the ID is matching, correct?
Mm.
So you have to find what? You have to find the ID which is present in customer but absent in order.
Mm.
You're getting it,
Shouldn't
correct?
shouldn't this be a right join?
Right,
Because
left does not matter. Right and
oh,
left
okay.
is a function of where how you are writing.
Oh, okay.
You
So yeah.
you just change the order of the table, it will become a left join. So
Right. So yeah. Okay.
don't get hang around right and left. But understand
Makes
what you
sense.
have to find.
Hmm. Hmm.
You have to find what? You have to find the row which is present in customer but absent in order.
Order. Yep.
The rows that are present in customer, absent in order. Partho, you are clear, right?
Mhm.
Right? Now see the magic. So we know the definition of a left join. So left join does what? If we have customer table in left hand side and order table is in right hand side, uh,
Mhm.
we basically do a join with the customer ID with a left join, correct? What will the left join do? Okay, let's write it. Select and then lights from, correct? We do a customer uh, table is C on, right? Uh, sorry, from customer table C. Sorry, left join. Left join what? Left join orders, correct?
Mhm.
Orders O on what? C dot cust ID equal to O dot customer ID.
Mhm.
This is our clause. As of right now, then what you have? You have all the rows that are matching between customer and you have all the rows that are matching between customer table and the order table.
No, you mentioned left join, right?
That is right.
Uh,
You have all the rows from the customer table and the matching rows from the
Matching
order
records
table,
from order table. Yes.
correct?
Correct.
So
Mm.
how will the table look like? So in here what you will get? In here what you will get? After
Here,
this?
there I will get total
No, give me the IDs. Give me the IDs. You will get all the
order
four
table.
IDs,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
You will get all the four IDs because 1, 2, and 1 from this, it is matching with 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 that is not matching, that also you'll get. So this is a match, this is a match, this is a not match, this is a not match. But a left join will give you all the four. Are you clear?
But the total records will be five, right?
Why?
Total records will be four only. Yes.
Abhinandan, are you clear?
Yeah. Because we are using the customer ID as the primary key.
Okay. What we are asked to find out? We are asked to find out
The
the
customers who haven't placed order.
haven't placed a order.
Hmm.
What is the clause that we are going to use that they have not placed a order? Remember, we have joined with both the tables in left join. Now we can use any clause in the where condition from any table.
Where where customer ID uh, not in order
No,
ID.
no. You can use the order ID column by itself, and order ID is going to be null. Because
Hmm.
remember, for this order ID, here is 101, here is 102, and here it will be 103. Actually, you are right. There will be five columns, Partho. There will be five columns. There will be 103 here,
Hmm.
right? But this will be null.
No.
This will be null, correct? This is order ID.
So five column, five. 5 columns or 5
Five
rows?
rows,
Sorry.
five rows, five rows.
5 rows before the order ID, before the filtering is happening, before
Before the
that.
filter is happening. Before the filter is
Right.
happening, there is five rows.
It's
Because
capturing all the data
all the
from both
data,
the table.
two for
Right.
two for customer
Mm-hmm.
one, one for
Mm-hmm.
customer two, and then other two for customer three and four. But the
Exactly.
but the catch here is that for customer number three and four, once you
Order ID is
join,
null.
the order ID is null.
Right, right, right,
And
right,
that is
right.
what you are filtering here.
Oh,
Yep.
that is why we are filtering here. Okay. Okay.
And
Hmm.
that is the answer of the question. So you just put a C dot customer underscore
Okay.
ID, and you might want to do whatever name, email, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Logic is only in this line, nothing else. And you need to understand very carefully that why is this line logical? This is the foundation of your understanding of left join. What we have just covered is basically the difference between two tables and finding out the rows that are not present in one table. The if there asks you a different question, something like give me a write me a query where the columns are columns of table sorry, the rows from table A, whatever the rows from table A, and they are not present in table B, right? This is the same way that you are going to write the query using the left join. So
Yeah. So basically, I understood this one. Actually, initially I thought to write the query in different way, kind of sub-query type.
no, that is not right. If you go into subquery type, you first of all that is not performant, and second thing is you are going to do a select one and which is not in that kind of a
Mm.
clause. That
Mm.
is
Yes, yes.
not in clause, and then you open bracket, do another select of one from another table. So two
Mm.
times table can scan is happening.
Mm.
That is not correct.
I mean, performance-wise, not
Performance
correct.
wise, it is not correct.
Mm.
What you I'm not saying that you cannot write that way, but it is
Mm.
not about just the see, the beauty of SQL language is that a one problem can be solved in multiple ways, but you have to select the most optimal way that that is beneficial for the database, right? And that is beneficial for your performance reason also. And if
Mm.
you have something as beautiful as left join, why you are not using that is the question, right? So what we are just saying is that once you have the left join in here, you go out and declare the left join. It's a
Mm.
matter of just finding out that what is generating null in this. The moment you find that out, you have the answer.
Means after left join only, the dataset is getting generated, and from looking at dataset, can identify
So
next
you
what
have to
will join.
visualize this. You have to visualize in
Visualize.
your mind.
Otherwise, it's not that easy actually.
It is not
Uh,
that easy, but this is a very important interview question, Partho.
Correct, correct. It's a very interview question, common question. Yes.
It's a very common interview question, and you are hearing it from somebody who have failed 40 interviews, at least more than 40 interviews in last perhaps 8 months. So I have failed this multiple times.
No, no, it's actually looks very easy, but actually it is
Yes.
not. Uh,
So okay, is joins clear?
Question.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
What if we have to write this in a right join pattern? Of course, the table
Just
order would
switch
have changed.
the
Switch
switch
the
the
table.
yeah. So switch the table name, nothing else. But then the column still remains the same because you were not bonded by what order the column is, right?
Mm, mm, mm.
If as long as you were just switching the column, so I'm not sure why you are too much hanged around left and right. It's just the ordering change, Abhinandan. So
Right. I
you
mean,
are
this was most like a concept clearing, basically. I
Yeah,
was
so
just,
what we are
yeah.
trying to do here is we are trying to get over that. We are not too much hanged around what is
Okay.
going right,
Understood.
what is going left. But we are trying
Okay.
to answer a mathematical question that if I am trying to find out the rows that are present in one table and absent in one table, how do
Hmm.
I do
Okay.
that using a left or a right join. So the
Okay.
concept here to understand is that left or right join, when it joins, it brings the common rows as well as the rows that are not present. Rows that are,
Hmm.
oh,
Hmm.
so
Hmm. Hmm.
so
Hmm.
the rows of the left table, the full rows and the common rows. Now
Right.
now, the moment you have to filter out the common rows, you are only left with this. So, if I am to explain it in a Venn diagram here, so
Hmm.
here you have two things, right?
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
know this is our left join, correct?
Hmm.
This
Hmm.
is our left join.
Right.
What we are asked in this question is to provide only this.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
So, we need to find out how can you filter this out.
Oh, means our question, Venn diagram is second one, huh?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Given to
Because
table and the customer who did not place order. Okay.
who did not place order? Who placed order there on the intersection part?
Uh, I mean, which one is which table? Just the left one is left one
You
is customer table.
yes, this is customer, this is order.
So,
So technically, if we had to perform only left join, then we wouldn't need the where query. The filtration wouldn't be required. The first diagram would have answered just the left join answer. But
No, no,
to
but
answer this
the
particular
answer,
question,
yes, answer to this particular question, yeah,
yes.
you're right.
Hmm.
You're right. If you just performing left join, that is fine. But it was not
Right,
there.
right. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
my intention was here is to show you the utility of the left join.
Hmm. 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 Exactly.
sorry, I'm not getting the Venn diagram based
Okay.
on the question.
Okay. Where you were confused? Tell me.
No, no, Venn diagram, you're saying the common area, it's not covered.
What is the common area, Partho? The
The
customer who
C
have placed the
intersection
order.
node.
1 second. What is the common area? The customer who have placed the order, which means the data is present in both customer and order table.
Oh, okay, okay. Mhm.
I am asked what? I am asked the data which is not present in order table, but present in customer.
Uh, it's kind of O minus C.
Yeah, O minus C.
Mm.
O minus C, but then O minus C, uh, you cannot do direct, right? Because O, yeah, it's kind of O minus C, you can say in that way, but I'm forgetting. I'm thinking that it will be in set algebra, it is O minus C, or is it O minus C minus of O intersection C or not? The intersection also needs to be also taken out. That I'm not sure in the algebraic notation, but you get the idea what I'm trying to say.
Okay, okay. Yes. I got it, got it. Go to next interview question. It's very interesting for me.
This is good. Yeah.
Okay, give me 2 minutes. I'll be back with
Sure,
that.
sure.
Okay. Okay, is this clear up till now?
Yes, yes. Perfectly clear. It's
Yep.
very much needed session for me. Otherwise, কালকে গিয়ে আমি অবস্থা খারাপ হতো। Anyway.
I told you,
Right, right.
give me some time. I have failed so many interviews. I exactly know where the question is going to come. I can tell the
Sorry.
the best teacher is a failed person. So I have failed many interviews.
Just show us other questions where you failed.
Okay, so Okay, I'll have to think, but yeah, these are the basic conceptual things, right? So you
Mm.
understand where we are coming from. We are trying to conceptualize. This is very important, right? So um I will I have I think a set of 8 to 10 questions. I'll have to try to find it somewhere. But let me see. Mm, okay. So let's start with something. Uh, Say you are given uh, a question like you have a okay, this question is called I think one. Okay. This is called department with uh, what was it? Highest average salary, I guess. Highest. So Partho, you should take a copy and take note. Um, so you have two tables, okay? You have employee and you have department, right? Employee and department table, you are asked to find out the department which has the highest average salary. Can you tell me how do we find it out?
Mm. Can I try?
Yes.
Yeah. So there are two
You tell,
tables.
I will write.
Ah, so first let's select,
Mm-hmm.
then from
Mm-hmm.
employee,
Mm-hmm.
comma, department.
No, never write comma.
Oh,
After employee, you should write an alias and then write join.
okay, cool.
That is why I'm telling you that come out of the Oracle way of writing. This
Okay,
comma
okay.
notation is Oracle. No,
Uh,
do not write it in an interview setting.
oh, and
Always
this one
write
is
join.
what it called? This pattern?
This is ANSI SQL pattern. ANSI,
ANSI, ANSI, yeah, ANSI
this is
SQL.
ANSI SQL pattern. And this
Correct,
is
correct.
worldwide accepted. Always use ANSI SQL.
Okay, okay, perfect.
Never ever in an interview setting write this comma. I'm telling you, Partho.
Hmm.
Because there are modern databases, you'll be squared down. Never ever use this comma.
Oh, okay, okay,
Use
okay.
join. I
Hmm.
mean, and take out and copy and a pen and keep practicing that by writing it down in your own hand. Do not have to type it in computer. Okay, just
Hmm.
practice this, writing it down, that you are basically writing join as a keyword, not as
Hmm.
comma, right? And
Hmm.
this part alias is very important. That is
Hmm.
employees e. Okay, let's continue then. What
Yeah,
kind of join
join.
do you want
Yeah,
me to have?
join. Yeah, the inner join.
Inner
Hmm.
join means just write
Hmm.
join. You do not have to
Just
join.
write join. Yes, yes.
Okay, and say
Uh,
then
join, or
department.
maybe we can specify inner join also. No,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
problem. Hmm.
whatever. But generally,
Anyway,
just join and
yeah.
inner join is fine. Okay, department
Department D.
D on, and perhaps the
Yeah, on
department ID.
employee ID E dot.
No, no, no,
Uh,
department ID, right?
sorry. Where D dot E dot department ID equal to
Hmm. D dot department ID. Okay, then.
uh, group by
Okay.
department.
Group by department ID.
Mhm. Yeah, group by department ID.
Mm-hmm. Say whatever the department name or something like that.
Mhm.
Then,
One second. Just I'm writing in my own. Where sum of salary.
why you are telling where? You have
Sorry,
already
sorry.
written group by.
Sorry, group
No,
by having, not
no,
where.
no. I am asking. No, no, no. Why is having required part two? I am just asking you to find the highest salary,
Oh,
highest,
then
highest
okay,
average salary,
highest
highest
average
average
salary.
salary.
Mhm.
Think of it. Think of it. Highest average salary.
Uh, those in select clause I have to write sum of salary.
Why sum? Average. Average is a
Okay.
function. Average is a function itself.
Mhm.
You do
Okay.
not have to do
In
sum.
select
Don't
clause.
get confused. Don't get confused. You do not have to do sum and divide by the count of that kind of thing.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You
I
can
understood what.
directly use average.
Select average of salary.
Wait. First of all, write department ID.
Mm.
ID, comma, department name, because these are
Mm.
the ones that you are grouping it by, right?
Mm.
Whatever
Mm.
you are grouping it by, blindly write it on the select, first of all.
Mm.
Then you write your
Average
aggregate
salary.
function, which is average of salary. So,
Salary.
which is employee dot salary,
Mm.
E dot salary, correct? This is
Mm.
your average salary. Okay, right?
Mm.
Now you tell me how will you are you going to find the uh, highest salary?
Okay. Okay. Let me try. Huh?
Yes, of course.
The thing is group by. Now you order by average salary column, and then you write row num equal to 1.
Not row num.
Uh, um,
Limit.
limit
Why?
1.
Why you are doing row num? Row num is we have not discussed row num yet. Row num is a Windows function.
Mhm.
If you are not doing a partition by, how can you use row num? You have to do a partition by. We have not discussed the partitioning.
No, but row num by default we can use, right, without
Yes, but
partition. Right?
that's what I'm telling you. By default, you can only use it in Oracle and sometimes in row number in SQL server, but it is not ANSI SQL.
Oh, not ANSI, yeah, not ANSI. Yes, yes. Mhm.
You have to do a order. You were very right up till here, but you missed one thing in this clause. Tell me, what did you miss?
The direction, I mean the ascending, descending. So it
What
should be
should be?
descending, descending.
Descending. That is what exactly. Very good. See, so you need to understand one other thing. I am using the alias name of column. Now you can tell me that okay, on the when you told me that order by and select, how it is executed? After group by, select is executed. After that, order by is executed, correct?
Mhm.
So when you are on the order by, when you are already landing on the order by, the SQL compiler know the name of average underscore salary, which is your alias column. You can directly use it.
Uh, so by default order by is descending, huh? Or
No,
ascending.
by default it is ascending. DAC has
By
to be specified.
by default is ascending. Okay, okay. Mhm. Without using limit 1,
Yeah.
is there any other way like we can do that?
Yeah. There is the partition by way. You can actually join. You can actually take the salary. You can then do the ranking, not the row number. You do the ranking and then you generate a rank function, partition by salary, order by, sorry, partition by department, order by average salary descending. Correct? And
Um,
then filter the out where rank equals to 1.
oh, partition by department.
Yeah, we have not
Um,
discussed those. We will have to discuss it. I'm not sure today I will have time or not. I have only 10 minutes more.
oh,
But yeah, do you get this?
I get it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Have
actually
you written
same.
it?
I mean, very good question for interview.
Okay. Uh, okay, another example. This is this is very important. Employees with salary greater than the department average. We have just found the department average salary, correct?
Mm.
Now you need to find the salary of all the employees who are having greater than the department average. How are you going to do it?
I mean, same query after group by, we need to write having employee salary greater than that average salary of the department.
In this query, you are saying you are going to write having.
Mm.
How you are going to write having? Order by is here, right?
I mean, before, I mean, no need to write order by and limit. You just delete order by and limit.
Okay, let's take this out.
Mm.
And then
And after group by, you just write having
mhm,
having um, um, having e dot salary greater than average salary. Greater than average salary of the department, which is already we have identified in the select clause.
like this.
No, department salary.
Department salary is this, right?
Yes, yes. Okay. Okay.
I'm writing the exact same clause here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, this is one way of doing it. You can also use a where. How you do it? You basically write a common table expression. Do you know what a common table expression is?
Not sure.
Okay. Common table expression is nothing but a subquery which is written like this. Say you have select, you have from, you have from here employees, right? And say you have group by. Group by, it is very easy actually, don't worry. Department underscore ID. Goodness. Okay. So here you have department underscore ID, comma, average salary as average department salary. Okay. This is something that you can alias as like this. This department underscore salary becomes as good as a table right now because of this with clause. Once you write with here, this whole table, this portion of the query is considered as a separate table. Okay, that is called common table expression. Now you can use this particular query in a select clause like this. Say you can do, I'm not sure, employees, employee, and then you can join with department average. On average D. Underscore ID equals to E dot department underscore ID. Now you can write a where condition here because you have already calculated the average in this part of the query, which is your average is coming over here, correct? Now, since you have already calculated this average here and you are using this average as a part of this query directly here, right? You can now directly say where E dot salary is greater than D dot average department salary, right? And then you can do order by uh, E dot whatever E dot salary descending. This is another way of writing. So there are different ways of writing. Either you can do it like the way that you have said, Parth. Another way of doing it with the common table expression, and
Common
then
table expression means this with clause.
with clause, just with
Oh.
clause, with just so if you with the bracket, like in the subquery, we used to name this, correct?
Mm.
Now all that you are doing in here is nothing but you are basically giving a bracket and you are calling this as a table name. That is all.
With table name, then as.
Yes, with table with name as bracket open bracket close.
Mm.
Whatever you write within it, it becomes a common table
Common
that can
table
be that can be used
in the
down the
subsequent
query
query.
in the subsequent query. Correct?
Mm.
Okay. So Partho, I have a hard stop here. I have another
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So I
no
will I
issue.
will have to stop, but let me stop the recording. We will discuss the further course of action.
Mm.